Before we go ahead, let's do a recap of 2020 scents of the month. Okay, so I need to say that this year, compared to the last couple of years where I've done this scent of the year process, has been more difficult than ever. The choices that I made throughout the year, I've really loved all these fragrances, and when I was trying to place them in order, there were probably the top two weren't that hard to choose, but look, there's basically nothing between them, and I have to say that there's probably a little bit of a disadvantage to some perfumes because of the time of the year that I'm going through the process of picking these. But I just want to say I've loved wearing these perfumes all year, and a couple of them are resulting in new bottles. I'll just say that. Number 12, my favorite patchouli dominant fragrance, and I will list reviews that I've done for these in the description. It is Patchouli Nobile by Nobile 1942. Today, it's funny, today I sprayed on some Frederic Malle Monsieur, which is considered a really good patchouli fragrance, and I still actually got some on this hand, and then when I was testing this, there's no competition. This is it as far as patchouli goes. My number 11 from Scent of the Year in 2020, this was for December. It is the wonderful Ormonde Woman, nearly halfway through that Traveller from Ormonde Jane. There will be a review coming very soon, I hope. But it really surprised me. I wasn't expecting even to try this one. I happened to get this in a purchase and I've just fallen in love with it. Number 10, I had almost forgotten that this was nominated very early in the year. And it's been a long time since I wore it, so it was nice to smell it again. And that's really a disadvantage of having a large-ish collection, that there are some fragrances that, for whatever reason, get neglected, and this is one of them. But I was reminded today how lovely it is. This is Vanille by Mona Diorio. There goes my lid. And after that was one of my new purchases in 2020. This was Habanita Eau de Parfum by Molinard. Again, this one I tried late last year and needed a bit of convincing, but with subsequent wears, every time I wear this, it gets better and better. I really love this one too. Okay, in the 8th and 7th position, one that I was after for a long time in terms of a bottle. They were recently re-released in new packaging. This one is Tabac Blonde, which was my scent of the month way back in January 2020, before we knew what was going to happen for the rest of the year. And also my first purchase, this is at number 7, my first purchase for 2020 was Ormonde Jane's Tolu. I still really, I still like this a little bit better than Ormonde Woman. Ormonde Woman's just kind of been the flavour of the month for a while, but I forgot how much I love this one. Okay, at number 6, we have a blind buy, basically, and this one blew my socks off the first time I wore it, and I'm still very, very impressed by it. This is from Nikolai. This is Patchouli Intense. At number 5, we have this tiny little sample. I'll try and get that in focus, well, maybe not. Tiny little sample. It's from Diptyque, it's Oud Palau, and I decided after smelling this again today that I would make this my first bottle purchase of 2021, and so I have a bottle on the way, but this is the Oud Rose for me, and I really, really love it. I haven't smelled one that I like more than this. At number 4 and number 3 positions, we have 2 from the same house, L'Artisan Parfumeur. They never cease to surprise me at their quality and their variety in their line. Number 4 is a decant I have of, I won't bother putting that up to camera. This is Zonka, composed by Bertrand Duchefort. I had heard a lot about this before I tried this earlier in the year, and this one here, really, you can smell similarities between this and Timbuktu, also composed by the same perfumer. There is just more an air of refinement and a little bit of mystery about Zonka that sets it apart from Timbuktu, as beautiful as Timbuktu is. However, this one I worry is one that's going to elude me in terms of bottles, because they do exist and they're out there, although they are very difficult to find for me at the moment, and I understand there are some in other parts of the world, but it's just harder getting them to Australia. So Zonka is at number 4. But at number 3 is a late 2020 love affair for me. It is Sebi à l'Aube. I'll get that in focus eventually. There we go. I did a review not long ago of this, but oh boy, oh boy. I always have this reaction every time I smell it, whether it's from the spray or whether it's on my skin. It is just good memories, happy times, and I always feel good wearing it. So the number 2 and the number 1 positions probably shouldn't be any surprise. I mean, they weren't for me, but they are actually in my current top 5 fragrances. At number 2 is the wonderful Habit Rouge EDT by Guerlain. Even in its current form, I just love this fragrance. But at number 1, my scent of the year for 2020, it has become it's probably my favorite Chypre scent, my favorite Francesca Bianchi scent now, and that is Etruscan Water. You know, it probably took me a while to really appreciate how good this fragrance is, especially on my skin, but I really love it, especially in the context of the Francesca Bianchi line, in that this has, yes, some Bianchi DNA in it, but what sets it apart from the others is this balance of fresh and heavy notes, lighter and darker elements, wet and dry, spice. It kind of has everything and totally works. And also, if you want to match a scent to its inspiration, to its brief, this totally takes you there. But you know, going by what other people also say about this fragrance, it is one that I suspect also changes with people's skin. Like, can different elements come out of it with different people's skin? I like all of them, they last all day. I mean, they are all extrait de parfum concentration, but Etruscan water works all year round. You can smell it, never gets too big on you. Like when I say you can smell it the whole wear, believe me. And I love it, summer, winter, all year round, and it's a worthy choice for my scent of 2020. Thank you all for watching. End of January, we'll start again for 2021 and have January scent of the month. In the meantime, I hope you've all had a great New Year's celebration, and here's to a great year ahead, much, much better than last year. And I'll see you all later. Bye.